Just so you guys know, I'm here to talk about fear, but I'm totally feeling it right now. I don't know if you can tell. I don't know if you can tell, but this is a big deal for me, and it's all about facing it, right? So fear, it is a feeling that I have known for far too long, and it has controlled most of my life. But at this point, or I've had moments where instead of allowing for it to continue controlling me, I flip the coin and I'm like, you know what, you're going to be the reason that I do better, the reason that, you know, my inspiration. So how do we get there? Right? Big, scary fear there. And again, I did ask, who here has ever had like such an awesome idea and you know you want to do it, you're excited, but you get that feeling in your stomach where you're like, oh God, no, this is not going to work. Or what if it doesn't work out? What if I fail? What if all kinds of things could go wrong? Anybody? If you haven't, we need to talk because I got to know your secret. Right. So it is something that a lot of us, it's an emotion that a lot of us feel. However, the moment it started to change for me personally was when I realized that the way I see myself, when I was becoming more self-aware and being mindful of where I wanted to end up, and learning that, I know you can't see this very well, but your thoughts, what you think about, it becomes your, okay, I can't see this properly, but basically your thoughts and your beliefs are the things that you will act out on more often. And your actions become your habits, and then your habits, they create your character, and your character is your destiny. And in case you do not know, I'm here to remind you that you are in control of your destiny. Now, it is not an easy journey. It is not an easy path because there's a lot of fear along the way. But once we learn how to manage it, we don't want to get rid of it. It's always going to be there. Once we learn to manage it, then that's when we start to see the growth and success that we want for ourselves. So as I speak for the next, I think, 25 minutes now, my goal is that I share how to recognize fear when it comes, how to understand it, because you cannot work on something that you don't understand, and then how to overcome it, right? So that is my goal by the end, as soon as I'm done talking here. And I really hope that I'm able to deliver that to you guys. Okay, recognizing fear. Now, fear is a defense mechanism. What do I mean by that? Your body is wired in a way that when you experience something that you don't understand, something you've maybe never seen before, or something that you have been told enough times that you know that is dangerous, stay away from that, it is going to react. If someone comes up and goes, boo! Okay, so right? You feel that? So your brain is like, what the heck is going on? We have to be on the alert, right? So fear is just that. It is your body reacting. It is your mind ordering, all these hormones to be produced in your body so that you are ready to either A, fight or run, right? And either way, you're going to need to be on the alert. You're going to need to be energetic for that. And so that's basically what it is. It is your mind just releasing all these hormones in your body, and now you're all irregulated, and you're like, oh man, I'm feeling all these things. What the heck is going on, right? That's the first thing you need to understand, that's what fear is. All right, press. Come on. Right. So it is your brain saying, okay, guys, we gotta get on it. Something's not right. We have to run, or we have to get ready to fight. And the other thing It's an emotion. Just like you feel love, just like you feel excited, just like you feel anything really, fear is an emotion. But the difference is we have given it a very, very powerful meaning. What is that? Life or death, right? It's life or death to your mind, to your body. It's life or death. So whatever it is that you experience and you get that fear, it is your, you've pretty much you've created this story in your mind about what is going to happen and all the things that are going to go wrong. But the reality is, it hasn't even happened yet. So what is fear really? False evidence appearing real. Anybody agree with that? Yeah? If I'm wrong, please tell me, because I like to be challenged, right? So it is false evidence appearing real. We create all these stories and we tell ourselves all these things, or we've been told all these things, and it is to a point where we believe it and we don't even question it, and we're just like, you know what, we're gonna go with it. So that's the one thing I want you to take away from this talk is anytime you experience fear, you need to check this. Is it real? Or am I trying to protect myself? Or is my body trying to protect me? So, false evidence appearing real. Overcoming fear. Now that we understand what fear really is, it is all about reprogramming and shifting our mindset around it. Because like I said, oh, did I skip a slide? I think we skipped a slide, but that's okay. We have to understand it is never gonna go away, right? It's always going to be there. And if someone is always going to be in our lives, do we wanna have a negative relationship with that person or something positive, right? So you wanna look at it differently. And how are you gonna do that? You're understanding it, okay. This is my brain just trying to protect me from whatever it is that I am facing. And this reprogramming, it is not something that just happens overnight. It is not something that you are going to master right away. It is going to require you being in that situation over and over and over again for you to really appreciate the value that it's bringing in your life. Just give me a second. Right. And then once we change our mindset around that, it is all about having the courage and the faith. This is going to work out, you know. I'm afraid of ABC, but what if? And you know, a lot of times when we ask what if, we go to the negative side immediately. So the challenge is, what if it works? What if I am successful in what I'm thinking about doing? What if, you know, think positive about it. And again, that's the whole idea of shifting your mindset around the fear that you're experiencing in that moment. I will give you an example. So a couple months ago, when I decided that, okay, I want to learn how to speak in front of people. I want to coach people and help people, you know, build better lives for themselves. And I want to learn how to do it. So who here knows Lisa Nichols? Anybody? Lisa? Okay, so she's my person. I love her. And I've been following her for the past 2 years, almost 3 years now. And for the longest time, I'd wanted to meet her. And I'm like, you know what? I don't know how it's going to happen. But I think, because I do follow her on her social media, a couple of times I message her and just appreciating all the amazing work that she's doing and how much I admire her. and just hoping that one day I will not even get to learn from her, but get to be in the same room, breathe the same oxygen that she is breathing. Like that to me would be a blessing. And in my head, I'm thinking about all these things that, maybe if I move to California, because that's where her office is, maybe if I move there and just go by the door and be like, hi, you know what? You don't even have to hire me. I will volunteer to clean the floors and whatever. And I'm thinking all these things, right? Just getting all these crazy ideas because I know it is going to be of advantage just being in her space, right? And being influenced by her. So I message and months go by. And then one time I find this other lady. She lives in Dallas. Her name's Nikki. So Nikki is hosting an event. And Nikki, she's a speaker. She is a coach. She teaches people how to speak, right? And to use their voice and all that stuff. So she's hosting this event. And again, I do the same thing. And I'm like, wow, she's doing so amazing. And I like to appreciate people. So again, I sent her a message and I'm like, hi, Miss Nikki. My name is Amina. I'm like this little girl who knows nothing, but I would love to learn from you, be my, for you to be my mentor and all that awesome stuff. And I think it was like a few minutes. I could not believe my eyes. She replied. She's like, hey, you know what? I'm having an event that is coming up in June, and it is in Dallas and all this stuff. Upon hearing that, the first thing that came to my mind was, oh, crap. How am I going to get there? Now, you have to keep in mind, I've never traveled on my own. That's one thing. And also, I don't know anybody in Dallas. Me and my mom at the time, because she could not understand what the heck I was trying to do. Me neither, because I was just figuring it out. I'm like, this doesn't even make sense. How is this gonna work? And all of these things. And before I'm like, I allowed myself to keep thinking like that. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna say yes. I will just say yes. And the rest, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out later. So I said, yes, of course, I will be there. And I'm excited. At the time, I was just working part-time, I believe. And I'm, having moments where I'm like, where am I going to get the money? Where am I going to sleep? Or all of these, like, there's a million reasons that I could have said, no, I'm not going to go. No, it's not going to happen. And immediately shut that down. But long story short, I was able to make it happen, pay for the whole thing on my own, planned it by myself. And even when I told my mom, I knew she would not understand it or agree to it. But when I told it to her, eventually she's like, I'm really proud of you that you're doing this. But she was like, you're going to have to pay for this and this and this. And I'm like, yes, Mom, I know. And in my head, I'm thinking I will find a way to make it work myself. So eventually, I'm able to go to the event. And it is the most amazing, amazing experience of my life. Not only did I get to be in the presence of the woman that inspires me and I just want to be around and learn from. So when she finishes her speech, or as she's finishing her speech, she comes up to me and she's hugging me. And literally, so I was sitting at the edge and so I'm at the edge of my seat. She's giving this speech and I'm like, wow, wait, am I really here? Is she really here in front of me? And she's doing this thing where she's going around the audience and just to speak to people and connect with people. And as she's finishing her speech, and she's telling me how amazing I am and how awesome, and how great she believes in me. This is literally what she was doing. And of course, for me, just being a fanatic, I'm just bawling my eyes out. And I'm like, wow, this is like the best thing that has ever happened to me. And I'm like, what? So it was amazing. And of course, I got to meet so many more inspiring people who I still stay in touch with till today. And guess what? Because I was able to face that and go through that, I'm going to see her again, like next month. Isn't that awesome? And I'm not afraid of it. I know what I'm gonna get out of it. I know how it's gonna make my life better. And at the end of the day, I understand it's not about me. It really isn't. Everybody take a deep breath. Thank you, I really needed to do that. When you're facing your fear and you have all these things in your head, remind yourself that this is a good thing. This is another chance for you to practice getting out of your comfort zone so that you can grow and become more and become better. Without it, we're comfortable, but we're not living. Also, since it's not about you, when you're thinking, what if it works out? How is it going to affect you and your family? I know when I came back from that trip, my mom picked me up from the airport and we went out for lunch. And I'm telling her all these amazing stories and the things that I've learned and how I'm just so inspired and excited to make bigger moves now because I've been around people who make big moves. And she's just telling me how proud she is and how she is grateful to have a daughter who cares about impacting people's lives. She gets that now. Most times. She's still getting the hang of it. How's it gonna affect the people you care about the most? Your friends, people who are closest to your heart. As a business owner or someone who works, how is it going to get you to a position where you can serve better? Again, it's not about you. You could go to the grocery store and run into a woman. How are you going to inspire that person? Because a lot of times we inspire people and we don't even know it. It's all about your energy and the light that you are extending out to others around you. And, when you grow old and you're thinking on your life, how is your story going to inspire the people you're telling it to, your children, your grandchildren? Now, when I tell my children in the future this story, I know it's going to teach them something. One page they'll read, oh man, mommy was so scared to do this. And then the next page, she did it anyways. And it was like the best thing she ever did. The best thing that you've done, and that you meet so many people that will just add on to whatever it is you're doing. And the universe is going to open up so many, many, many doors for you. That doesn't come easy. If it did, everybody would be doing it and everybody would be successful. Oh, I did go back. So I really hope that in what I've shared with you, next time you have a moment of fear, you recognize it for what it is, which is false evidence appearing real. And once you realize that, I want you to immediately go into, well, what does it really mean? And not in a negative way, but in a positive way. Why is it important that you do it? And if doing it for yourself is not enough, then it's not about you. How is this going to impact my family? How is this going to, how am I going to be a better person as a result of going through ABC? And you got to understand, oh, I totally missed the slide. Another thing that what it really meant was, it is, let's see if I can go back to it. Oops, sorry guys, bear with me. Oh, it totally didn't show up, that's okay. I think it's like I will pull it up at one point. It can either mean forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. He gets it, right? Forget everything and run, or face everything and rise, because you are going to rise up above it. It is the only way to be able to overcome it and stand on top of it, facing it. Don't be afraid of something new. Don't be afraid of the unknown. Be excited about it. Don't be afraid of new challenges. They're there to help you grow, to make you better. If you think about a crab, because it has a shell, right? But it doesn't stay the same size forever. Every time a crab grows, it gets to a point where its shell is now too uncomfortable. It just doesn't fit anymore. And that means it's time for a new one. We're outgrowing this and we're going into something bigger, something that's more fitting for us. It's okay to outgrow your shell. It's about time you outgrow your shell, because a lot of people that you meet are gonna look up to you. And whether you like it or not, it is your responsibility to take on that role in order for the world to be a better place. I'm sure we all want that. Anybody? Thank you, yeah. But that's not going to happen if we don't face our fears, especially with ourselves. I'll give you one more story. So myself and Erwin and Markel, we have this thing where we meet every week, and we just to help each other to grow and to be better and all that stuff. And this one time, it was a week where I was supposed to be presenting in front of Erwin and Markel and one other person. So I was getting ready and I'm like, okay, I can do this. And then matter of fact, it was right here, this same exact location. So I show up and, Amina, are you ready to do your presentation? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Okay. I was freaking scared. I was feeling like I'm not good at this. I'm not experienced enough. Thank you. I don't know what I'm talking about. Man, what am I even thinking that I can, do all these things? And, some of my colleagues at that point, they're very, very experienced, and they're very knowledgeable in the things that they do and all that. So I'm like, what? So I was pretty much scared to do it, to a point where I got very, very emotional. And Erwin's like, you know what, Amina, it's okay. If it's really too much for you, you don't have to do it today. So I get up, I go to the washroom, and I'm crying my heart out a little bit, just feeling so disappointed in myself. And I'm like, why can't you do this? You're ready, you're prepared, and all these things. And then reminding myself, it is not about me. And it's funny because I was speaking on leadership. But the thing is, I'm trying to be a leader who's not even willing to step up to the responsibility of doing what I need to do as a speaker. As I'm in the washroom, I cry, wash my face off a little bit, look in the mirror. What are we doing? Why are you lying to yourself? Why are you making yourself believe things that are not even true? You are projecting something that hasn't even happened yet. You're ready. You're prepared. Why are you putting yourself down when there are so many people that are going to be uplifted by you stepping up and sharing what you need to share? It was a real moment for me. And just reminding myself that, you know, it's not about me. And I'm just a vessel. I am just a messenger. And I need to do what I need to do. So I get out of that washroom, I come back, join the group. And Erwin's like, Amina, you know what? Don't worry about it. Don't do it today. And of course, I'm not going to let fear win. I'm going to let fear be my fuel. Not the reason that I put out my fire. So I'm like, no, I'm going to do it. I'm ready. And then I start to speak. Of course, I'm bawling my eyes out because I'm so emotional and I'm so scared. And I'm like, so it is everybody's responsibility as a leader. You have to understand that. I'm seriously like really crying my eyes out. And, you know, you have to be willing to do the uncomfortable to get through it because of A, B, C. The whole time I am crying, but by the time I am done, I don't know. Erwin, how did you feel about that?
That's why you're presenting tonight. If you hadn't done it, I don't think we would do it tonight.
Exactly. And the interesting thing is when I finished, immediately, as soon as I finished, I'm like getting this feeling of, you just did that. Guess what? You can do this in front of many, many people. And Erwin is talking about this event that he's going to be hosting. And he's like, guys, I'd like for you to speak, you know, this week and then this week. And I'm like, and he's like, okay, who'd like to go first? I'm like, me. I want to go first. Right? Isn't that interesting?
Very interesting.
So after crying, and I'm having this moment where I'm like so excited and so proud of myself and so grateful that I was able to stand and get through it. Thank you. Stand and get through it. I'm now throwing myself out to the very, very thing that was scaring me. Overcoming the fear. Oh, I totally went back. Overcoming your fears. So that being said, everybody take another deep breath with me. Let's go. We'll do one more. Come on, you can do better. Deep breath. You have a calling on your life. You have a purpose. You are powerful. You're amazing. You're enough. You have everything you need within you to do that exact same thing that you know you need to do. Don't be afraid. And if you are, that's okay. Take the fear in one hand. Everybody put one hand up. Okay, with my fear in one hand. And take courage in the other hand. And you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna leap. Everybody, as loud as you can, I want you to say, leap! Leap! What are we gonna do next time we're afraid? Leap! What are we gonna do every time we feel like, oh shoot, I can't do this? What are we gonna do?
Leap!
Thank you very much for your time.
Wow.